Hey folks there in YouTube land. Yeah, I just haven't done snake content, my boa content in a while. My name is Brian and I have 4 of these dwarf boas that are my little babies. I just haven't been handling as much lately just because the tegus do take so much of my time and a lot of other things just suck some of my time out of making videos on the snakes. But this is Carmela. This is my what I call a hypo leopard boa. And I bought this off Snakes and Sunset like 3 years ago, or maybe 2.5 years ago. And she is a sweetheart. This is definitely a she. And hopefully you're seeing in the light there, the color. She's a kind of a caramel brown color and kind of faint patterns. And there's her belly. She is such a sweet, beautiful snake. If I recall, I mean, when I got this snake like 2.5 years ago, I thought, to remind viewers, or if you're new, I thought I had lost this snake. She was little bitty, and I thought maybe she had gotten eaten by one of my other boas. She just disappeared. And she had crawled into a little gap under the terrarium that was so small, so small, that I never even considered that this snake could climb into that little gap. It was just like a crack. And about a week later, I found her. So I thought this snake had gotten eaten. But I did my research. I looked at all my snakes, and I shined a flashlight on my little bit bigger Nicaraguan boa, and looked, in the dark and shined that on him to see through him. And obviously, I didn't see, a snake in there in his body. So I just didn't know what happened to her. So I bought another one, and I'll show you that one in a minute. This is Carmela, and again, I named her Carmela because of her color. And she's just really cool, really easy to handle. Gets kind of more pinkish towards her tail. And I don't know a real good way to show the boas, but she's not even 3 foot long. And such a gorgeous snake. But I wanted to highlight, she was up and roaming around in her large closet enclosure with my other ones, and I'll pull them out here shortly. But yeah, you can see, really, just wonderful. I love my boas. They're so sweet and so tame, and not nippy and not aggressive. Snakes aren't aggressive, they're defensive. So let me not say that word. But yeah, I'm having a blast with her. So blessed to have these beautiful boas. And again, she's a female. She's got dark eyes, a black tongue, dark head. And if I remember, she's got a weird blotch under her head. Now, it's going to be really difficult to show you. That's going to be really tough. She's got a white blotch under her, like a stain under her head. It's so unique and cool. But yep, I don't show them more, or I'm not interacting with them more and holding them, as they're very difficult to get out. I have my cage enclosure, their closet. It's decorated with limbs and things, and they're comfortable in there. And they like to be in there. And when I pull them out, they just immediately start grasping at things and kind of showing me that they really don't want to come out. They would rather kind of do what they're doing and lay and just have a relaxing time. I guess that's what they're doing. They all kind of clump together, at least 3 of them at one time, and one will straggle off and do something else. But this is my hypo boa. This one is probably getting close to 4 years old. And the colors, let me turn the light on in here. Maybe that'll add just a little bit. This one is kind of orange colored, cream on the belly. As this one gets older, my hypo boa, got this one at Snakes at Sunset too, is turning a little bit more tan and a little more brown on top of the snake. Definitely pink and cream underneath. But this is Leo. Leo is a sweetheart too. For a little while there, I thought Leo was a male, so Leah, but I think he is a male, not a she. So not Leah, but Leo, like I originally named. This Leo is probably 3.5 feet long. Another just beautiful animal, very easy to hold. A lot of fun, very friendly. All 4 of my boas are just crazy eaters, and that's what boas are kind of known for, which is good. I mean, you stick a rat in there and the rats get eaten up pretty quickly. But I have to feed them individually because you can't feed one at a time and have them all get along. They will get upset and immediately go after the other. So you got to feed them outside, one at a time, and make sure they don't get together while they're eating. But once they're full, they're wonderful, and they all get along very, very well. As they get towards the end of their tails always get lighter and more unique patterns on their tails. Leo likes to sit under the UVB CFL bulb that I have, and that's UVB bulb turns Leo more tan and brown, whereas he usually leaves the back part of his tail in his hide, so his tail is more pink and orange and lighter cream colored. They just all ate, so they're kind of bloated towards the mid to the end section, but yeah, you can see his tail is definitely more cream and lighter colored. But just another gorgeous animal. So blessed to have this one too. Getting close, about 3.5 feet, maybe getting up there around 4. But they won't get much bigger. All 4 of my boas won't get much bigger than 4 foot. That's what I'm thinking. Very easy to hold, hard to get out of their cage. That's the one point, man. They just will fight me, wrapping that tail around anything, or their head around anything they can get wrapped around to make it difficult for me to pull out of their cage and hold them. But once I got them out, they look kind of interested to be out and get some fresh air and climb around on me. Leo's the second boa that I got, and again, this is most likely a dwarf boa because this one is almost 4 years old, and I'm feeding them really regularly, and they're getting decent sized rats, and their growth is really, really slow. Fine with me, no big deal, and I'm not overfeeding them, trying to try to get them to breed or anything. I'm not a breeder. I'm just an enthusiast and a lover of animals, and these snakes fall into that category. Hypoboas can be large snakes, and I would assume they can be the smaller breed of boas. All right, this was perfect. This is one of the plastic hides that I have in there, and I had to flip this over to get them all out. They were all in here just coiled around each other. They really, I guess, enjoy or hanging out together, all 4 of my snakes. And I've been doing this now for 3+ years, and so I'm really not worried about people not getting along or hurting each other, but there is the potential for babies, and so I'm not a breeder. Something happens where we have some babies, I mean, that so be it. But this is Manny, my Nicaraguan boa. This is my first boa that I got as a little tiny baby, and I have probably 170 videos, 170 plus videos on all 4 of my boas since they were little bitty babies, 14 inches long, except for the leopard boas where they were a little bit older. But Manny was my first, and he was the youngest. Let's take him out. He is probably getting close to about 4 foot, and beautiful Nicaraguan boa, southern Central American boa, and a dwarf species. A lot of the boas that come from Central America are a little bit smaller, from my understanding, but he's very, very powerful, very, very thick, and very easy to hold. I need to actually hold him more. He's the one, if I hold him more and more and more, he really is very, very tame, but he will be a little bit head shy. And so if you don't hold him, then, you know, when you put your hand near his head, he jerks around. But he's a beautiful snake. Here's his belly. Manny's just a little more arduous to hold because he grips so tightly. I have stories for all my snakes why I think they do certain things. But he's a male. They are all eating small to medium-sized rats now. Beautiful color. Very good temperament. Very good temperament. And like I said, my first snake. Very beautiful animal. Very trusting. And just love having Manny in my collection. So I have 4 boas, and that's about my limit. 4 boas, 2 tegus, a cat that moved in, and a dog. And so those are my pets. And everybody, you know, as time goes on, it gets a little more difficult to maintain everybody. With my age getting up there, soon I'll, you know, in a few years I'll be 60 years old. And just a little bit more difficult as you get in age to take care of everything, keep your house clean, and work and do all that stuff. But most of these animals may outlive me. But yeah, there's Manny, Nicaraguan boa, Central American boa, real dark coloration, and a little dark circles and on his cream colored belly, a little bit of pink in his belly. Let's put him up and pull out my last boa. All right, this is Paisley here. Paisley is probably my youngest, or close to it. Paisley's probably 2 years old, 2.5 years old, or probably close to 3. But I got Paisley when she was about 1.5 years old, and I got this snake, not from Snakes at Sunset, but Morph Market. This one was purchased to replace Carmela that I thought was either eaten, had died, or gotten out and was lost. So I splurged and bought another one to replace her that was a leopard boa. This one is a Sonoran, an actual authentic Sonoran leopard boa. And this one's probably my most colorful, other than Leo, which is tan, cream, and orange, kind of an orange sherbet. This one's tail is really beautiful, really unique, a lot of pattern, and that's why I call this one Paisley, because she's kind of has a complex pattern of little geometry shapes, and that's kind of what I recognize as Paisley. You know, some muted colors, a bunch of muted colors together. She is really probably one of the most beautiful to me personally, in my opinion. She's got an orange belly with some black and a little bit of cream and tan. She's got black eyes, a black tongue, really dark head. Let me see, I think this one has a blotch or a stain on her underside of her head. Let me see here. Oh, it's so difficult. They're so squirmy. Come here, baby. She's not gonna cooperate. But beautiful snake. Dark colored, dark brown, black, tan, and orangish under her belly. She's really wanting to go somewhere, get away from the camera. If you didn't know, reptiles are really affected by the infrared and what cameras put out for autofocus. And so if you point your camera at a lot of reptiles, I can see this with mine, they want to go the other way and kind of maybe get away from cameras that use autofocus. And this camera here is a DJI Pro something 5 camera, and so it's using autofocus right now, and it's emitting that band to autofocus. So, oh, she's getting all twisted around. This one's very easy to hold and gentle, but they do, some of them will get out and they'll like to cruise around pretty quickly. But yeah, I think the leopard boas, Paisley here and Carmela are just beautiful animals, and I'm so blessed to have them. Very unique. There's a lot of different patterns and colorations of these leopard boas, and these will probably be the smallest. This one's a female, and so they may not get over 3.5 feet, or maximum probably 4 foot is what I am thinking, or what my research tells me. Even though they're a female, and the females in snakes tend to get bigger than the males. But yeah, look at that real cool pattern. The white line down their tail, kind of a copper color, and the light white tan color. And the leopard boas kind of always have the really dark black eyes with a black tongue and a dark head. But that's my collection. I think this one is my least long, or least in length. This one is maybe at maximum 3 feet, 2.5 feet to 3 feet. And a lot of fun to own these boas. Very easy to take care of compared to big snakes that are, get to 10 to 14 foot long, or even bigger than that, if you can even manage to keep a snake that big and do it easily. These are very economical to have, as long as you keep their temperatures, in the mid 80s, and the humidity, in 65 to 70% humidity, maybe a little lower. It can get down to maybe in the 50s, but it's pretty easy to maintain that if you're not in a really dry climate. I'm in Texas, so it's very humid here, and it's usually at about 55% humidity to 60 anyways. So it's not difficult to bump that up, by 10% or something. So, but that's my collection of snakes. I just wanted to update this video. I just felt motivated today to do that and to get them all out. And I appreciate you for watching. Check back for more content, tegu content, boa content, even kitty cat content. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.